name down there. It's breaking news, just came out, and I think it's appropriate. Ukraine wants to join NATO. Why should anyone care? Because if NATO is allowed, if the Ukraine is allowed to join NATO, America instantly is at war with Russia. Now, there are individuals out there like Tim Pool and some others who are saying, well, that means World War III. No, I believe it means that is the start of 3 regional wars around the world. I think that means that China will go into Taiwan, and I think that we will see Iran, possibly North Korea, start acting up as well. So there will be 3 areas. Why? Because we have an administration that has no international policy. They can't handle Afghanistan, where they left thousands of Americans to this day. They're obsessed with an election and not considering the consequences of their actions. And if we allow Ukraine to join while they're at war, we are instantly going to be sucked in, and we can't handle it. We're not prepared. On top of that, well, I don't want any of our kids to die for the Ukraine.
And here's the thing, okay? Our NATO treaty demands that all member states of NATO defend every other member state of NATO.
Right.
So if a member state of NATO is attacked, then all other member states of NATO must join in defending that nation state.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying if we let them join, we are instantly at war with a superpower, and I don't want our kids to die. And Russia is incentivized at that point to use nukes, and we would see China, North Korea, and or Iran all instantly go ballistic because we can't handle that. Not under this administration. And I don't think that's worth it.
Is there any other history within NATO of member states being admitted while they were at war or while they were in conflict of some sort?
No.
Because you would seem to me that would kind of be a excuse the term, a pre-existing condition for denial. I mean, you can't go running for help while you're in the middle of God knows what. I mean,
not according to the terms of NATO. They don't even address it. It's never been an issue before. It's never.
No, it hasn't. And prior to the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and that's point blank what it is. It's an invasion of Ukraine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ukraine had been denied joining NATO.
Right.
Multiple times. They've applied multiple times, and they've been denied each time. And one of the biggest reasons why they've been denied is because of the repercussions from Russia. And now here we are seeing that they're actually in the middle of a war with Russia, who attacked them first, and we're discussing letting them join in with NATO.
Yeah, mind you, we're in a proxy war right now. We are economically at war with Russia.
Mm-hmm. Plus, we're also supplying weapons, funding, and everything else to the people that are fighting against Russia. Jan just said that we're sending them weapons today, or rockets.
And the thing is prior to them joining NATO, being allowed to join NATO while in an active combat, or an active war, NATO group members should be allowed to make a decision whether or not they want to ally with Ukraine and actually go there and fight. That keeps the rest of NATO out. Because then at that time, Ukraine's not a member of NATO yet. And this still allows other member states, if they want to help Ukraine, so be it. That's on you. But once you join in, then the NATO treaty is no longer an obligation. So if Russia attacks you after you join with Ukraine, we're not coming to your defense.
Yeah, it's a big mess. Man, I don't know. I don't, and I think as much as we're talking about it and we're contemplating this and saying, what the hell, what are the implications? I think most of America right now, and this is breaking news, it just came out. I think most of America is saying, wait a minute, what? I don't think anyone has understood the consequences. And we have a government right now that doesn't even consider consequences to what they're doing. They just go forward with what'll get me votes.
I want to know, where was this response when Russia invaded Afghanistan?
They didn't care.
Or the last time Russia invaded Ukraine? If we go into a war that is global in scale, you realize what that is going to do here in the United States as far as the implications of government control?
Yeah.
What happened during World War II? Okay, look at the control government took during World War II.
There's so many aspects.
Took over food,
took over all resources.
Food, fuel, metal resources. Yeah,
every resource,
including people.
Was under complete governmental control during World War II.
Well, first, what we got to do is we have to look to Twitter first. That's what we really need. You have to look to Twitter first, identify and find all the people with the little flag up in the corner that says "Pray for Ukraine," and put those people on a plane and let them fly over there and collect some of the firearms that we've sent there, collect some of the billions and billions and billions of dollars that we've sent there, let them suit up and let them get their feet wet. Let them be the front line. Let them be mandated volunteers to go over there and do what they have to do, and do it with although they're doing it of their own volition, so they're not really representing America. They're representing themselves. Let them go over there and fight that, let them take care of it.
It's not even trending on Twitter right now. Nothing about this is trending.
Obama is trending on Twitter.
How many people have seen the Nord Stream pipeline sabotage?
Yeah,
that happened over.
Yeah. I think I can't remember. No, we didn't touch on that last week. It was Wednesday when we recapped.
Well, I have a theory on if we want to switch to that. I think they both apply. I don't think it was the U.S. or Russia that sabotaged it. It was Iran. They have the opportunity. They have the means. No one's paying attention to them. It serves their interests. They win in all aspects.
I was going to ask, what would be their
on that? Iran's got its hands full right now with the rebellions going on in its country.
That's not that big to them. They have lots of those rebellions, like the Green Movement back under Obama in 2012. They can handle that. That's actually very minor. And we're talking about the IRGC, the Iran Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, which is their terrorist wing. They can do this. They are trained for it. This is something that they would normally do. They have the resources for it, and they are somewhat independent of the main governmental body. They're currently training terrorists around the world. They could do this. What? Jan, I don't know that one.
No, neither do I.
Yeah, Jan is saying, what about the USA allowing China to open a police station to monitor Chinese people? I've never heard about that. And that's absolutely not constitutional. I can't even see state government or local governments allowing that. Hell, the idea of the Confucius Institute, which is basically a spy agency in some of our colleges, has been virtually shut down around the world. There's only like 20 colleges in the United States that still allows it, including Binghamton University, where I'm at, and where Eric Swalwell went to in Delaware. They still have it, but almost everywhere else has been shut down because you can't let another foreign government into your country and run things, whether it's a college or anything else. It's crazy. Wow, I gotta look that up.
Yeah, I've checked that out too because I haven't heard anything on that.
Just checking that now. Oh, hang on. New York Post, 10 hours ago. Oh my God. I just found it. Okay. Jan, you are 110% correct, and I just found it. And public, anyone who wants to say, oh, well, that's just from kind of right-wing news agency. Nope, I found it. I can share that. There it is. This is from the New York Post. So, credible news agency. There is no question here. China has opened police stations in U.S. and Canada to monitor Chinese citizens. September 30th, 2022 came out at 1:29 p.m. So I'm just looking, first time I'm seeing this, I'm looking it over. China has opened dozens of overseas police service stations around the globe to monitor its citizens living abroad, including one location in New York City and 3 in Toronto. Why am I not surprised that New York City is allowing this? Quote, these operations eschew official bilateral police and judicial cooperation and violate the international rule of law and may violate territorial integrity in third countries involving in setting up parallel policing mechanisms using illegal methods, reads a report by the Safeguard Defenders, a human rights watchdog, and they are 110% correct. What they are saying is if you allow another country, China in this case, to have its police operating under its laws in another country that has an entirely different set of laws, you are going to have anarchy. Who in the hell in New York State, in New York City and New York State allowed this to happen? Kathy Hochul has lost her dad.
Well, that isn't the only foreign entity, though.
I'm just trying to see if they show who authorized this. It's funny. The report
Now,
doesn't say who authorizes this.
Back in 2019, there's a lot of the Muslim Citizens Patrols started up, which were a Muslim police agency, and they were enforcing Sharia law.
When we're not talking about a community like a city like Islamburg in New York, which is its own city, and so they get to delegate laws. It's not like we're talking about a community watch, your local neighborhood watch, which has no legal authority or very limited legal authority within their community. We're talking about, the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the right to privacy, the right to anything.
Right.
None of that applies.
Right. And the same happened with this Muslim community flood.
Tim Pool's talked about, I didn't know he ran a story on this. There's only so much time to follow so many stories, but this is shocking to me. Who authorized this?